everyone. So this is my collaboration tool Screencast. The tool that I chose to analyze was called KidBlog, and I have the link there for you. It's kidblog.org. As far as price goes, individual teachers are able to purchase it. It's $54 for the year or $12 for the month. They offered district bundles if someone from the district were to call in, just if anybody was interested. So some of the services that were offered through this tool, and I'll go into the description a little bit later, but they have a lot of moderation tools that allow the teacher to approve the post, control the community of people who see the post, and also making posts go live. They also had the ability to share student work with authentic audiences, so that could be in the school, in the community, or even beyond that. They had the ability to create and house online digital student portfolios, which was really neat. And the website also offered some lesson plans, some free lesson plans for the teachers as far as implementation goes, and then content after that. So a more detailed description of what KidBlog is: it serves as a publishing platform for student work. In their mission statement, they included allowing students to post their work for authentic audiences to make their assignments more meaningful. So I know that we're always looking for some ways to bring in some more authenticity into activities, and this would be a good way to do it. So how that works is once students write their posts, the posts have to be approved by the teacher before they can go live, and the teachers can choose to have that post shared with only them, shared with the class, or shared with what they call connections. So you can connect with other classes, and that doesn't just have to be in your district or in your school. It can be other classes beyond that, which is really neat. And then the last option that they give for that is to make the post go public. So that means that it's out there on the internet for anybody to see, which they also were warning on their website about, safety of that, and that might not always be the option for younger students. So those who can view the post are able to comment on it, and they also offered a parent or a temporary guest that could be connected to students' work, so parents can sign up and see their students' work all the time. Or if you bring in maybe like a guest speaker and you have like a follow-up assignment to go with that, you could connect them as a temporary guest, so they would be able to see just that one post, and then after that they would have to be approved again to see student work. As far as the post goes for the students, the post can be personalized by the students, and they offer different backgrounds and images, colors, avatars, and even more things, emoticons, and all kinds of things to put into their posts. And they're also able to note what stage of the writing process that they're on while they're writing that post, so they can say whether if it's a draft, if it's in review, or if it's a published post, which I thought was pretty cool as well. For synchronous and asynchronous aspects, for it to be synchronous, before I discuss that, I kind of feel like I would see this working better in a face-to-face classroom, and if it's kind of a one-to-one as far as technology goes. But to use this in a synchronous environment, students could be working on a writing block or in a writing workshop, and they would be able to post and comment to each other throughout the period, and they could conference with each other online or with their teacher online. And this is only, of course, if the teacher is able to approve those comments, if they have their settings set to that, or if they just allow students to post to each other freely in the classroom. So that's how I would see this being more of a live tool. As far as asynchronous, I feel like this would work for both face-to-face and online learning environments, where students can post and comment as they're able to. They can continuously conference on different posts. Also, the classroom connections, as far as the different classrooms that you get connected to, or parents and guests can comment on finished products, or they can provide suggestions as their students work through the writing process on that specific post. And then, of course, the teachers can provide comments and feedback on work, and this is just, if it's asynchronous, they could do it in a timely manner just as they're able to. As far as the social presence goes, I feel like the effective association, there wasn't a ton that I could pull from this, but as far as KidBlog offers, students could learn from and about each other, and I feel like writing is more of a vulnerable topic and a more vulnerable subject, so they could have that opportunity to become a little bit more vulnerable with their peers, and that would all be through their writing. As far as the community cohesion goes, I felt that because students are able to view each other's posts, they could help contribute to their writing community and their classroom community, as well as watching others grow throughout the year. So they are able to post, feedback or things like that, and watch how their peers around them grow and learn from each other in that aspect as well. I did mention about how you can be connected to different classrooms, so I feel like it's not just part of your own classroom community, but you can kind of feel like you're part of a larger community as far as this tool offers. For the interactive intensity, I didn't feel that there's a great deal of interaction between the students. I just know I would prefer my students to be a little bit more focused on their posts, and then hopefully once they finish that and they've polished their work and things like that, then they're able to go back and post on other students' work. But this might be something that students have to be trained so that it could be a bigger piece if you use it in like a writer's workshop. The instructor involvement, I felt that there was a decent amount if you use it in the way that I described earlier. If it's like everybody has one-to-one devices and you're using it in one period, then I felt like the instructor could kind of be on their device and they would be able to conference with more students, I feel, than you would typically be able to face-to-face, because you're just constantly posting little comments on students and giving feedback on their posts and then going right on to the next one. So you'd be able to give that feedback quickly in that specific time period. And then the last component there, the knowledge and experience, I could just see even my first grade students as they comment and give feedback, I could see them helping each other with recent content that we've learned, maybe in writing or grammar. Even in phonics, I can see them kind of talking about, for example, we call certain things glued sounds or bonus letters, and I could see them helping out their peers with their spelling and using those rules of spelling that we've learned recently. And then also in other content areas as well. It doesn't just have to be ELA stuff. It could be math explanations, which I'm about to go into in just a little bit, but just kind of helping to learn from each other and learn a little bit about their peers and the way that they think in that aspect. So as far as Rice's collaboration outcome in that figure of 5.3, they kind of declared the blogging tools like KidBlog that they provide opportunities for reflection and demonstrating mastery of content. So reading that is kind of when I realized that the tool can be used in more content areas than just writing. Whenever I saw that, they could use this to show that they have a mastery of certain content, they can show me that they're understanding what we've talked about in science, or they can show me that they've understood what I talked about in math today because I've seen their written explanation of that. And teachers, of course, can get creative with the prompts that they're given. It doesn't have to be a straight writing prompt. It can be, a poem of sorts and things like that to kind of show that they understand whatever content it is that you're teaching. So as far as using KidBlog in first grade, I feel like this tool brings this more independent subject into a collaborative space. I know in writing, typically students are sitting at their seats, they're doing their own writing, which is fine and it's great, and I feel like that's a good part of the day for students and it's a nice aspect to have, but using this kind of and switching between the two would be really nice, because I know it's always a time crunch for every grade getting everything in, and especially writing. I know that writing's always the thing to go in first grade for us whenever other things kind of take the forefront there. So I feel like having a space to share to an authentic audience and having them get to that spot where they can publish their writing is very, very rare. So this would be an awesome opportunity to have my students be able to publish their writing and get to that area and also show it to their parents or to their peers and giving that opportunity to do that. And I felt that this tool can be used to assist in publishing student work and would motivate the students to get to that point. So I know sometimes it's really hard for younger students to have to go back and make revisions to any type of work, but especially to their writing. They usually write it and then they feel that they're done with it. But if you give them this tool to use and explain that they're going to be showing it off to their community or to the classroom down the hallway, then they're going to be a little bit more motivated to get to that final point in their writing and give a little bit more so that they can have a really nice post for everybody to see. And then, of course, they can show it to their peers and have that point of collaboration and see what everybody is going to say back to their post or what they thought about this piece of content and everything. And I feel like that's pretty cool. Also, on the flip side of that, the students who are commenting on that, they get to analyze and evaluate each other's writing. So they're just getting more involved in that content as they read through others and post their own writings. And I feel like I would not only use this tool for writing, because I would love to use it in a writer's workshop, but I would also love to use it in different content areas such as science and math. I know in first grade we do a lot of written explanations in math, such as how did you get this problem or what strategy did you use and why. And this tool would allow students to practice those explanations that are really hard for them to do. And it also provides that online learning environment for others to see what their peers are thinking and what strategies that they were using, and maybe say, for example, my peer counted by fives, and I see that they said they did that because it's a lot faster than counting by ones. So I think I might try that next time. So that's just an opportunity to have them learn from each other, which would be great. I said a little bit earlier that they provide the service of having a digital student portfolio, which would be a great thing to just pull up and show to parents quickly to show student growth throughout the year. Anytime you have those meetings or conferences, it would be really fast to pull up and just kind of show what their students were doing at the beginning of the year versus the end of the year. And I also felt that this might be a great tool and an opportunity to teach like netiquette to first graders, or digital literacy skills, for first grade students when we wouldn't typically get that opportunity. And in typical first grade fashion, I reviewed the tool with glows and grows. So you can kind of see what I have here. I just feel that it provides a greater sense of authenticity for publishing their writing. It helps to increase their student writing skills, which I said is a lot of times writing is the thing that gets kicked to the curb. I feel that it can be used in online environments or face-to-face environments. It allows the teachers and peers to provide feedback for published pieces. It incorporates a writing process, which is great. And I don't feel that it's just using technology just to use it. I feel like the tool truly allows students to collaborate and feel that they're part of a larger community. It provides some digital student portfolios that I had mentioned. A couple things that I feel like it could grow in that I wasn't as thrilled about was that it wasn't a solid synchronous tool, so it would not be something I would recommend for an online teacher to use if they were looking for something that would be a live tool. It's not free, so of course that's never going to be an upside here, and it's not as versatile as far as the product, so it's just strictly writing and posts that students get to have. It's nothing, no videos or art and things like that. It's just strictly writing. Of course, they have those little pieces that they get to be a little bit creative with it, but that would be the only outcome. So overall, my glows outdid the grows, and so I would be interested to try using this tool and implementing it for a year if it were free. But if you're interested, you can go to the link above, and thank you guys for watching.